Good evening, everyone. It's now 6:30, and I call the regular meeting of the Victoria City Council to order. It's our tradition to begin with the Pledge of Allegiance, so please stand and join me.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The first item on our agenda tonight is announcements. The City Council will hold a workshop on Monday, February 8th at 5 p.m. to discuss the city's 2021 legislative priorities and hear from Sheriff Cameroon on contract policing in Victoria. A workshop is also scheduled for February 22nd at 5:30 p.m. to discuss preliminary design for Bavaria Trail. The City Council will be conducting interviews for citizen advisory committees during a workshop scheduled for March 8th at 5 p.m. Interviews will be held for a number of vacancies on Planning Commission, Park and Recreation Committee, and our new Senior Advisory Committee. In other announcements, the City Council is currently recruiting for an open City Council member seat. Interested residents should submit an application, which can be found on the city's website. On behalf of the City Council, I'd like to thank all of those who have reached out for more information with questions and to those who have applied. We encourage anyone with questions to reach out to our city manager or any member of the council. To be considered, your application must be received by noon on January 26th, so that is noon tomorrow. Public interviews will be conducted during the February 8th council meeting, and the individual selected to fill this vacancy will complete the existing term, which expires on December 31st, 2022. Open forum. We'll move on to our next item, which is open forum. Open forum is an opportunity for anyone to address the council on an item that is not on the agenda and not in application form that will be coming to the council at a future date. Is there anyone from the public who wishes to address the council? We don't have anyone in council chambers tonight, and Ms. Patnode has not heard from anyone, so seeing no one else, we'll be moving along. Our next order of business is to adopt the final agenda. Council, is there a motion to adopt the final agenda?
Motion to adopt the final agenda.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. The next item on our agenda is the consent agenda. Items on the consent agenda are routine, administrative, and do not require deliberation or are housekeeping items required by law. Consent agenda items are approved with one vote unless someone requests an item to be considered separately. Ms. Hardy, does staff have anything to pull from the consent agenda?
None from staff, Madam Mayor.
Any member of the council have anything they wish to pull from the consent agenda?
No.
No.
And there is no one in the audience this evening to pull anything from the consent agenda. So hearing none, members of the council may have a motion to adopt the consent agenda.
I make a motion to adopt the consent agenda.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? None. Motion carries. We are now moving on to the regular agenda. There are no items to come before us on the regular agenda, and we will move on. So our next item on the agenda is the roundtable. Roundtable is a means for council members to gain input from fellow council members on items they'd like staff to explore. This evening, we have one roundtable item I would like to discuss, which is membership in the Southwest Corridor Transportation Coalition. But before we discuss that, I want to see if there's any other roundtable items this evening. Ms. Hardy, anything from staff?
None from staff, Madam Mayor.
Okay. Council, any other items for the roundtable from staff? Or council, pardon me. Seeing no other items, council, I'd like to discuss whether we want to consider membership and active participation on the Southwest Corridor Transportation Coalition. The coalition advocates for transportation improvements in the Southwest metro area and has approached us to be re-engaged with this effort. They've done, most recently, they've been focused on expansion of Highway 212 and west of Chaska, and then Highway 5 improvements. Historically, the city was actively engaged in the coalition and supportive of their work. In the mid-2010s, the city shifted and participated less actively. And by 2017, the city stopped paying membership fees, which were about $2,500 annually. And I've been approached by the coalition to get Victoria reengaged, and I want to see if there's support from the council to invite coalition leadership to present a brief overview of their focus and work on an overview of their work at a future council meeting before deciding and how we want to engage with the coalition. So with that, council, interest in hearing more from the Southwest Transportation Coalition and getting engaged. Councilmember Roberts, you want to start us off?
Sure. I'm open to it. I think, Highway 5 is going to be a big project going forward, and I think it's important that we have allies to further, our best interest in Highway 5. The 2,500 annually isn't a lot, but the budget is tight, I'm sure, and so, we need to find that. It sounds like there may be options of individual memberships too. So, I'm all for looking into it. I think it's a potential to, work with another group to see if we can, get our things done.
Perfect, thank you. Councilmember Black?
Do we know what the benefit of doing this would be?
Yeah, I think we'd want to hear from them, but it is a lot of, kind of what Councilmember Roberts mentioned, a coalition, some allies on our side to kind of help us move our project forward and continue to keep Highway 5 and 212 on the radar for MnDOT to continue to expand this thing to 4 lanes.
Well, okay.
So,
As far as they want to come, if they want to come and do a presentation, that's fine. I'd like to know what the benefit would be for us when we did get the county here who explained and are moving forward and doing everything, so.
yeah, it is an advocacy group, so they continue to keep us in front of MnDOT and the state and the county on those issues, so, yeah. Okay. Councilmember Gunderson?
Yeah, when it comes to transportation, we're already, if Chan and Chaska are involved as well, these are communities that have interest in the way a project works for their communities, and sometimes Victoria seems to get overlooked. So I want to make sure that we're using money that is actually being used for us, where we're getting advocated for.
Right.
Victoria is getting advocated for, not Chanhassen and not Chaska. These are cities in the county that seem to get a lot going their way. And we have agenda items that we want to go our way for the way that we're going to grow and develop our community. So if anybody's going to be an advocate, it's going to be us advocating for Victoria. I want to make sure if we do become a member of a group like this, that it's looking out for our best interests. And in a year where we don't have a lot of, being able to watch the budget from last year to this year, prior years, we don't have a lot of anything to all of a sudden add $2,500, which in the grand scheme of a bigger budget doesn't sound like a lot, but when everything almost down to the toilet paper is allocated for $2,500 is,
Well, yeah.
I'm not opposed to hearing more. I'm not opposed to even joining it. I'm just saying, I want to make sure we're getting, Victoria's getting it looked after, not just joining something to say, hey, Highway 5 needs to be worked on, because that already seems to be coming down coming down from.
Millions of dollars.
Yeah.
I will say though, right, that's the long-term plan, right, for Highway 5, and the way Victoria is growing, I feel like we're gonna need it sooner rather than later, right? And I agree completely with you, Councilman Gunderson. Not saying that we should necessarily do it, but what can they do for us, right? If we're gonna give them the
What's the
money to be,
benefit?
what is our benefit, right? And so it might be good to get a presentation to see,
Yeah, I'm okay with the presentation, but last year, we did get a pretty thorough presentation from the county, and basically, the move forward is based on us coming up with the millions of dollars that we need.
So I'm hearing consensus, let's invite them in and kind of find out where they stand and what their program of work looks like and see if we want to be involved with that. All right, Ms. Hardy, can you
Thank you, Madam Mayor, members of the council. So we will reach out to the coalition and invite them to a future council meeting.
Terrific, thank you. All right, we're up to reports. We'll move on. Attorney Vos, any reports from you?
You know, Mayor, just very briefly, it's a comment I've made to other cities that I work with, and I haven't, I've shared this with staff, so I don't want to catch people off guard. But at some point, as the vaccine rolls out and as we hope to get healthy as a country and as a community here, we should revisit the issue of how we conduct the meetings. Of course, we've had an emergency order in place that's allowed these hybrid meetings, which have been, I think, conducted in a very open and successful way here and frankly in local governments all across the state. But eventually we'll get back more closer to normal, and just want to keep that on your radar when the time comes. Mayor, it was actually your office, your seat that issued that proclamation, that order that allowed the meetings to be conducted this way. And so we'll funnel that through you, but, and it's not time now, of course, to do that, but just to give you a heads up about that, that will be coming eventually. And otherwise, nothing to report, Mayor.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Hardy, anything from staff?
Mayor, council, thank you. And just to piggyback on that, tonight will be the first time, with your permission, we would like to test our hybrid meeting. This allows public and our visitors, presenters to present to us in a virtual format during the pandemic. So with your permission, we have a couple of our staff on standby waiting just to test. So.
Certainly, let's do it.
I'm excited.
And
So they can't see us.
on your screens should be, you should be seeing Marty. Can you hear us, Marty?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Hear you. Great, terrific.
Awesome. I'm going to share my screen too, just to see if you can see my screen share.
Where's the speaker?
Yes, we can hear your, we can hear your screen.
We
can
can.
also see it. We can see and hear your screen. Very good.
All right, I'm going to stop sharing. So it does sound like you can see and hear me all right. Just a note, Dana and Alyssa, as soon as you share the WebEx screen, I can then no longer see the council members. I'm only seeing the WebEx screen in that window that I was previously seeing the council and the PowerPoint on. So something we'll want to look at.
We will look at that. Thank
So
you,
you can
Marty.
see us now too?
I could previously, but as soon as we started sharing,
Yeah. So now we won't be able to. Can you hear us?
No, he's
But we can't hear him. So we still have a little bit of experimenting. to
Oh,
do.
here you are.
Well, there
Can you
are.
hear us?
You're back.
Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off.
Yep, now I can hear you again.
Okay, very good. All right, and then are we going to hear from one other member of staff?
We have Ann and Kara. If either one of you want to just chime in.
We are, yeah, there we were, you could see.
Hi, Ann.
Good evening, Ann.
Here,
It's delightful
let me
to see you.
unmute. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Perfect.
We can indeed.
As well. Slick.
Excellent.
I
And
like this.
And we can see Kara as well.
Hi, Kara.
Welcome to the council meeting.
I'll say hi too.
Yay.
So we can see and hear all of you. Can you, and are you seeing and hearing the council?
We're hearing you. We still can't see you, but we can hear you.
Okay.
Can you put us,
So the screen that they're seeing is that screen that should be in your upper left-hand corner. That's what we need that, yeah, I think Alyssa's doing that. So we're going to have to work on that so they can see you.
all of us?
Yes,
Very good.
So we'll be tiled in, kind of like.
we will be.
There we are.
Great.
Hey, just
There we
like
are.
that.
There we can see. Now, can you see Dana?
But they should, yeah. But they should be able to see each one of
Yes.
us.
Yeah, they're just,
Very good. All right, do you have everything you need from the test?
We do.
Otherwise, we can continue to find out how staff's day
Thanks,
was.
gang. Appreciate
Bye.
it.
Thank you. Terrific. All right, members of the council, if there are no more items to come before this body this evening, may I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion?
And a second? Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you very much. Motion carries. We are adjourned.